Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I hope you're well. The red line, about which there has been an extensive warning, has now been crossed. Nobody wanted to push the trigger button, which has now been pressed, and no one knows what it will result in. However, despite constant warnings for the past year, no one has paid attention to them, and now we find ourselves staring at the start of the destruction of mankind in front of our very own eyes. On Tuesday evening, Iran launched approximately 200 missiles targeting Israel. Iran stated that this is in response to the recent strikes on Hassan Nasrallah and Ismail Haniyeh, the airstrikes as well as the ground offensive on Lebanon and the year-long onslaught on Gaza. Iran clearly stated that this was only a retaliatory attack about which Israel was being warned again and again. And now, after launching nearly 200 missiles, they have concluded the retaliation, and hence there is no need for further escalating the situation, as only the military bases of Israel were targeted by Iran. Our action is concluded unless the Israeli regime decides to invite further retaliation. In that scenario, our response will be stronger and more powerful. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Benjamin Netanyahu, however, as usual, does not seem interested in de-escalating the situation and has given a public statement that Iran made a big mistake tonight and it will pay for it. Here, one thing worth noting is that the US, who is undeniably the supporter of Israel, has given a reply that they will defend their dear friend and Iran will face severe consequences. Joe Biden affirmed Israel's unwavering support and called Iran's response ineffective. Democratic president candidate Kamala Harris recognized Biden's stance and declared that the U.S. would not back down from defending its interests against Iran. The president of France, Emmanuel Macron, declared that he is severely against Iran's latest strikes on Israel and that his country has committed to Israel's security by deploying its armed forces. John Healey, the defense secretary for the United Kingdom, criticized the Iranian response on Israel and declared that the country fully supports Israel's right to self-defense. It seems that the term self-defense is purely entitled to only Israel and the U.S. The right to self-defense in Gaza is still ongoing after 1 year has passed. Attacks on Lebanon have resulted in the deaths of more than 1,000 civilians, and to add to their misery, Israel has started its ground invasion just as it had done previously in Gaza, and still no other nation can stand and use the term self-defense to protect their interest except for Israel and the US. Germany was already among the highest exporters of arms to Israel. France, the UK, and the US has shown that they are ready to expand the ongoing assault that had spread from Palestine to Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen to much larger devastation. It is evident that the leaders of today's world were all ready to get into a huge battle, and that the US, who always tried hard to portray their image as mediators, are the ones who try to spread suffering and bloodshed to as many areas as possible. This was all a lie, and the US was saying throughout the year that it does not want the so-called conflict between Palestine and Israel to spread to other regions in the Middle East. And it was also a lie when the leaders of today said in UN meetings that they care about human life. The truth is that blood and tears of innocent lives have become as unworthy as gutter water. Now pure water has become a dream for everyone, and blood is spilt on the roads like worthless liquid. When all the nations have promised retaliation, we cannot even imagine how much more destruction we are about to witness in the incoming future. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from the trials of this world. Ameen.